You're listening to healthradio.fm. I'm your host, Tamila McNabb. I am at the Abbotsford Trade Show in Abbotsford, British Columbia, and it's a food trade show that has so many amazing companies. There is a large section of gluten-free products, and I have found a company called Otimo. It's a Brazilian-styled cheese puff company. She's one of a kind in the Canadian market, probably even, I would say even in North America maybe. Your product is unusual for a number of reasons. Tell us about the history of this particular product.
The cheese puffs, they're made in Brazil for, they have in records the last 50 years, but they're made from a root that is used for over 300 years. They're a welcome snack. When you have friends over, you bake them, and then you serve them warm with a cup of coffee. They're pretty much like the donuts in Brazil. You would have it every day for breakfast or as a snack between meals. When people go abroad, that's the first thing they miss. Out of the country is that home flavor. And I decided to make it because I was here in Canada for about 6 years and missing them a lot.
But it's not, you say it's like a donut. So it's the equivalent to how we eat donuts, but there's nothing sweet about it. It's very, very savory.
Yes, it's savory. It's cheesy, and then there's no sugar in it at all. So it's sugar-free, it's gluten-free. And naturally, because they're made out of a root called manioc that grows in Brazil, and it's very well known in there. It's a new ingredient we're bringing into Canada, and we would like to introduce that as an ingredient for the gluten-free market mainly, but it can be used for crepes, waffles, pancakes, a bunch of other things. But it's the savory snack. It's not really sweet.
Manioc, is it only grown in Brazil? Can you find it in any other country?
The manioc root only grows in Brazil. You can find other roots from the same family growing in different countries. One example of that is cassava, mainly from Thailand, and then there's taro root from Europe and other areas. But the manioc type, it's from Brazil, and then there's one called yuca that comes from the South America area. But even though they're from the same family, they're kind of different taste and texture. And even if they were the same root, they would taste differently because of the minerals of where they're growing from.
Is it small like a potato? How does it look?
No, it looks like a potato, but it's like 10 times the size. It's really, really big. And that's why we use, when you buy one of those roots, you peel it, and then you use for several things. You can use for your cheese puffs. You use them for when you buy as a flour for the cheese puffs, but you can cook and then boil with meat, do desserts, you can do pies, you can deep fry. You can make a range of things with the same root because it's very big.
So literally, you would go to the store, you would buy your root, and it would be used for the week across the board for a number of different things.
Yes, that's what usually moms or grandmas, they get the whole root, and then they have it for the whole week.
Is it an expensive product to buy in Brazil?
No, it's very cheap. And it also keeps you full. It has like a low glycemic index, so when people eat them, they feel it fuller than what they were eating flour or other things. So they actually thicken soups with those, and then they put it with beans or with meats. They pretty much complete the meal with them.
How long have you been making this product for, and why in Canada now?
I started making them in Canada by myself at home for my friends. Because mainly I was missing it. It was my favorite dish in Brazil, and when I came abroad, I was missing a lot, that taste from home. I decided to start making them and serving, and people love it. And they really said, you should try this as a business. And then I said, okay, so then I started doing the research, and then it's about a year and a few months that we're doing this professionally. Before, we was just trying it out, but my main reason was like that taste from Brazil, that home food. I decided that this would be my new country. I would be living here, but I wasn't willing to give up on the taste. Also, I'm more like I like savories. I like the sweets too, but I miss that savory snack in the coffee shops, right? So
where can consumers buy this particular product now in Canada?
We are in little stores, mainly Latin markets, because we started last year, but we're expanding this year. So we just got into Nesters and Bilo, and we're working on getting to the bigger chains, hopefully for next year. Yeah.
And at this point, is the product made by hand, by machine? How are you making the product?
Right now, we got a machine from Brazil to help out with the rolls, But we were making them by hands for the first few months, and we were making thousands of them a week by hands. Hours and hours of rolling, so it takes a lot of love. And then we got big enough that we could bring our own equipment. But now it's by machine, so it's more even. The sizes are better. But before it was just by hands. But it's worth it. We really like it.
So where is your website? What's your website address?
It's www.otimo.ca. And Otimo in Portuguese means awesome. So we wanted to have a Brazilian word for it. And all our stores are online. We put it on the website, and we also do about 7 or 8 farmers markets a week. We're like everywhere, and we do events. We love to give away samples so people can try and give us input. And all of our flavors came from customer suggestions. So,
well, I just tried every single flavor. Clearly, I'm a big fan of your product. Thank you so much for being on Health Radio FM, and welcome to the Gusto TV show as well.
Thank you so much for having us. It's a great pleasure.